Steve is in his condo. It's in his office. It's at night. He's going through files and files on his desk. The news is on TV. There is a scoop on a missing child. He's rubbing his head and his hands. Steve says, "I'm glad that isn't my case. Levi really could use some help though." Steve's phone goes off. He looks down and frowns. "I do think I have a mole as a friend." He types into his phone. "I'll stop by Emily's place and give her a rattle, 'cause I told her to deny everything, Becca." He stops typing. Then he types again. "But I know she lost her badge and refuses to work for me. That's her own fault. She is in foreclosure." He stops again. "I'll take care of everything, Becca. You won't lose your job." Later that same evening, Emily's in her condo. Hours later, she's with Daniel, the head of the FBI. She's packing up her stuff. Eek is no longer there, for he was taken away by the Secret Service to be protected. Emily says, "Daniel, I swear that Eek is not going to harm anyone, nor does he hold any disease." Daniel says in the guard, "You watch too many sci-fi flicks. Why don't you become a private investigator yourself?" Emily, "And do what? Find missing kids?" Daniel, "No, finish the case. Obviously the Levi investigator can't do it, nor can Steve." Emily says, "Are you quitting your job?" Daniel, "I didn't say that, but if you give me a quick kiss, I'll think about it." Emily just laughs. "In your dreams. But you head the FBI. Surely you can give me my job back." Daniel, "I can't. It was the courts." Emily points at her door. And suddenly there is a knock. Daniel has his gun out. Inside the condo, minutes later, Emily and Daniel are quiet. There is another knock on the door. He walks over to the door and looks through the peephole. He slowly moves the chain and opens the door. "Steve, I wish you would not stop by this place. Emily's in a top secret location, so how did you find out where she was?" Steve takes out his gun and knocks it over Danielle's head. Emily is nowhere to be seen. She is behind the door now. He takes Danielle and ties him up with handcuffs, then places him on the couch. He ties him up. Emily grabs Danielle's gun and points it at Steve. "I don't think so, Steve. Untie him right now." Steve takes out his gun and points it at Emily's feet and shoots. His has a silencer on. It hits her foot and she drops the gun. Daniel is gaining consciousness. Steve grabs Emily, who kicks him in the gut. He steps on her foot. She cries. He grabs her by the hair and has a knife. "You don't want to do this, Steve. I don't like moles." Steve is no longer there. She's in her condo. Emily wakes up to someone putting her on a bed. "Emily, where is the fucker?" They had a cloth over her forehead. "I want to know what you did. You pissed someone off. You were beaten, and now Steve is under investigation." Emily, "Shit, Steve? You're supposed to go to jail for killing those kids. I had the forensic team take a hair strand of his and match it to the latest kid that went missing. And he matched. The DNA matched." Danielle, "How in the fuck did you get a hold of forensic? Do you realize pissing off someone like that without telling me could have gotten you killed?" Emily, "I've been worse. I'm ready to work, Danielle." There's a knock on the door. Daniel goes over, and the emergency medics arrive. "Danielle, you're getting worse than I ever was. You hang around me too much." You're listening to Private Investigator. Emily gets caught by Ariel Aronside, produced by Aria Screenplay Productions. You can support this show by going to her eBay store, Ariel's Collectibles, or you can buy something from her store on Lulu, or you could just support her by sending her fan mail through her email account, arielprod1982 at yahoo.com, or you can find her on IMDb at www.imdb.com. and search her by Ariellesag. And there's going to be more of this story coming. She's writing as it comes, so it's going to take a little bit more longer to podcast. I hope you enjoy this podcast of this show. Thank you. And this is no violation of anybody. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm just kind of making a show. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this podcast.